We've all sat on it for a week. I want to hear our final thoughts and also where we rank this thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe before someday we do our rewatch and we break down these rankings with a fresh perspective and a fresh view. Klein Felt, as our guest, I want to start with you. What are your final thoughts on Fantastic Four First Steps after sitting with it for a week, and where does it fall in your MCU rankings?
My final thoughts are kind of a little bit of what I expressed when I was here on the review, but I have honed them down a bit, and I think I really figured out what I didn't like and what I really liked about the movie. I think it is a great two acts of a film. I think it is a fantastic two acts of a film. I think it's some of the best first two acts, Fantastic Four. I think it is some of the best like opening and climb like rising action that we've had in a Marvel film, let down by a just poor, really bad final act for me. And so where I'm putting it, it is up midway around. Well, because what are we at? We're at 37 movies. I have it right now in the 20 spot. So
20.
Mhm.
20 right above it. The two above it I have at 19 is Doctor Strange, and 18 is Deadpool and Wolverine. So like good company there.
Absolutely.
Spider-Man Far From Home is right ahead of that. Like we are starting we're bordering on the edge of what I would call the good Marvel stuff, leading eventually into the great. Below it is Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first Captain America and the first Ant-Man. So like
Bum,
that's
bum,
kind of
da-da,
where I'm putting it. I think
da-da-da-da.
that this movie maybe has for me a bit more personality than some of the movies it is above. And that does a lot for me. I think the performances all around are much better here than the movies that are above it. But it is that like if it had a even just a slightly better third act, I could see this going up 15 to 15, 12, maybe even getting up there. But right now it's about midway at 20.
And I think now is a good time to just remind everybody 37 movies. 37.
Yep.
The old adage during the in-game times was what's your top 10 Marvel movies?
Hmm.
What's your top 10 in the MCU? And that was like a thing back then. To be the top 10 in a rank of 37, it's just not the same as it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more like top 12. It's more like top 15 now, if we want to be comparative. So 20, while definitely it doesn't have the sexiness of top 15, still above the average of just below, I guess. But like it's in a very good spot, I think, in a rankings list. But like you said, just above Ant-Man and the Wasp, first Avenger, and Ant-Man. Climb, my question to you: would Fantastic Four represent a tier break for you, or is it at the top of a tier before we get to Doctor Strange?
I think it is at the top of a tier before we get to Doctor Strange for me. I think once we hit Doctor Strange, Deadpool and Wolverine, Spider-Man Far From Home, Shang-Chi, Wakanda Forever, like that's when we're starting to get into like, okay, these are like this is solid. This is 3.5 to 4 star, maybe even a couple 4.5 star movies in there. And then once I hit like probably 12 in my list, which right now is the first Avengers, that's when you're getting like these are great whether you like comic book movies or not. Like this
Mhm.
is truly awesome filmmaking. This is some of the best blockbuster stuff we've ever gotten.
There's a break on everybody's list where you have to be special to get in there.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
exactly.
that's just a thing that we have. David Thompson, your final thoughts and ranking of the Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yeah, quick final thoughts. I haven't seen the movie again. I would love
Yeah.
to. I'm really dying to. I haven't had the time to, unfortunately, with the part-time move and stuff. So anyway, I really want to see the movie again. I'm dying to like get fresh eyes on it because I've listened to a lot of other reviews online and just read a lot about the movie and just a lot of great discussion happening around this film. And it's aged well in my mind. I think that's the number one thing. There's so much positive about it, but there are those things that I think a lot of people agree with me on that do take the movie down a little bit. Now, I don't really agree with a lot of people's casting takes about like this person being miscast with that person. I actually find that everyone's casted well, and that I'm excited for them to pop up back in the future. It's kind of like what Klein said with the final act a little bit. Just some things not quite working, not some things not quite getting there. I'm also still I do think this movie could have been better if it actually had a little bit more meat on the bone. It's very trimmed down. It feels it's a short movie, which can be a great positive. I like fast-paced, shorter movies. I just think in this scenario, I would have probably preferred a little bit more. And like I went going back to my original film room take from last week, it's the structure that still kind of f's with my mind a little bit. But at the end of the day, some of the highest highs, and I've actually grown to appreciate over the last 2 weeks. It's really kind of like sat with me. I've really appreciated the family stuff even more when I've heard other people talking about it, reading about it. Like I really do appreciate stuff. And I funny enough, like my take, I really like Johnny Storm in this movie. I think he's actually my highlight going forward. I really enjoy Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. I like what they gave that character. I like how they made him not just the Chris Evans, like party guy.
X Games superstar.
Yeah, X Games. Like
Can you join me?
he's just really, you can tell he's given a role where he is this astronaut. He is this really smart guy. Like he can figure things out on his own. And it's almost like silly when they kind of like poo-poo Johnny because he really, I mean, he comes off as qualified, but then also fun, which is like the perfect Johnny Storm archetype, I would say. All that to be said, I have it ranked number 19 on my list. So very similar to Klein. The two movies ahead of it at 17 and 18 are Shang-Chi and Guardians 2. That was where I was like, is this movie better than Guardians 2? And I said no. So I put it right below it. Right
That's
behind Fantastic Four, I have Deadpool and Wolverine at 20 and Wakanda Forever at 21. And after that, that is a tier break for me when you head into 22 and beyond, because those movies after that, I have various feelings, but those are the movies after that where I'm like, there's issues with this property or with this project. So yeah, like I'm happy with where it is right now. I think if anything, it would maybe move up in the future, but honestly, like we've been talking about the rankings, God, is my like top 10 set. It's so hard to get in there. Top 5, top 10. Hell, I mean, I have Guardians 3 at 12. That was like aggressively putting
That's
it,
crazy.
near the top. So, I feel good about 19. It's like are a lot of just good movies. And like you can nitpick and poke holes and do all this stuff. But overall, I think like a middle of the pack Marvel movie when like Klein was saying, like, 3 stars, 5 stars, 4.5 stars. Like they all can be really good, especially in their own unique ways. But yeah, I also want one other mention. I do have it below Thunderbolts. So in terms of 2025 movies, I do think Thunderbolts is better.
Thunderbolt's in my top 10 right now.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt's a really good movie. Dave, is No Way Home still your newest movie in your top 10?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not even close. Yeah.
What's the next newest? Or is it
Endgame.
Endgame?
Yeah.
Mine's Guardians 3. I have Guardians 3 at 9 right now.
I've got it at 5, so yeah, mine's the same. No Way Home and Guardians 3. In my top 10.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Closing
I
out of
have
those trilogies.
all 3 Guardians are in my top 10. But
Stunning.
yeah, onto my rankings, kind of my final thoughts. The way I have been enjoying the approach to these rankings lately, and one of the reasons I can't bug David enough about this rewatch potential. I Klein, you should see the Slack DMs. It's mostly what I'm talking about. But
It needs to happen. It's got to get done.
I'm so excited
We gotta
about it.
dig in.
And a big reason I am excited about it is the completionist in me. And man, do I just want to rewatch Thunderbolts again.
Right.
I missed it a second time in theaters and I'm pissed about it.
Yeah.
The way I like to do this is I look at these movies, big comic book movie fan first. I look at all the things I love about this movie, and if I completely ignored all the negatives, where would it go? You know what I mean? And if this was an ideal movie based on what we got, where would it rank? And I put it there, and then I look at the negatives and things I didn't like so much about it, and then we start pulling away from there, right? David, you mentioned it last week. The visuals, casting, and music of this movie, I think, sets such a high floor. Like those alone really put this movie in a really good spot. I think for a lot of people, like it's hard not to appreciate that aspect of this movie. It's done so well.
Yep.
And then you add in the family stuff, the fun writing, this, that, the other. And then I look at what I'm taking away from it. What are the negatives? And since last week, since I've sat on this, one, I've been thinking about this movie ever since I saw it. So it crosses that threshold. There's a barrier on my list as well as, do I think about this movie ever again? So I've been thinking about it, and I have come around a little bit. I guess come around is a weird way to say it. I understand some of the biggest critiques a little bit more than maybe right after I saw it. And what's interesting to me is, from what I've gathered, all of the biggest critiques of this movie fall under the umbrella of, we wish there was more. We wanted more of this character. This act felt rushed. They didn't let it breathe. For all intents and purposes, a lot of the, not all, obviously, but a lot of the big negative talking points wasn't enough, right? And for me, for whatever reason, can't really explain why, that doesn't hold as much weight as maybe I thought it would. That doesn't bring it down as far as some other critiques might be. A bad acting performance will bring it down pretty hard for me. A dumb plot point, which I think this movie doesn't have a ton of, would bring it down pretty hard for me. A bad third act, a lot of the times, is a barrier of entry for me on certain points on my list. I like the third act more than you guys for sure, but I do recognize it was rushed. There's no doubt about that. It's a short movie. So with all that, this movie falls in at number 16 for me. So not crazy higher than you guys, but still higher, and definitely in a different tier. Right behind it at 18 is Deadpool and Wolverine. And this was the big one. At 17, Shang-Chi. That's been the big one for me lately, is what's gonna pass up Shang-Chi.
Man.
Thunderbolts did it.
Wow.
Yeah. And boy, is it close. You know what I mean? Ask me on a different day, it could flip-flop. They are so tied in such a big way for me. The third act of Shang-Chi has issues too.
That's true.
It's good, but it definitely has issues. There's no doubt about that. But all the production stuff and just the vibe of this movie caught me. And just above it, Avengers: Age of Ultron, and then Wakanda Forever. Another movie I really want to rewatch because I have it ranked up at 14. I'm not sure I remember why.
Right.
I love Shuri, but I want to rewatch it. I want to, the reread of it all has
synths, Matt. It's because of the synths when she drops in there in that suit for the first time. That's the reason. That's why.
Pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie to you. And boy, did she come from far away. You know what I mean?
Oh.
What a drop that was.
Good knees.
And then right above that at 14 is at 13 is Thunderbolts. So
yeah,
16 for me. I think I have a little more fluff at the top than maybe you guys do. That's why I don't have it as much higher as I maybe thought it would.